Hi, I'm Dr. Sandra Khan. I am sharing the investor pitch or deck in construction. If you have any questions, this is our website, and you can send us an email and find out more information and share this extremely exciting technology that we're bringing in, and we're asking people to participate with us. Any questions? Please let us know. Thank you. The UpLocker Bluetooth is a device that utilizes modern technology to help individuals train themselves to breathe better. Our advisor, David Gozal, has told us that we breathe 30,000 times a day, and we should do something to make every single one of those breaths the Rolls Royce of the breath. So we can train ourselves to make every breath more powerful, more meaningful, have more potential out of our breathing. And this is what our device and our technology are designed to do. We know an important percent of the world is not breathing properly. So we want to help them, and we know there's a huge need and interest of people wanting to improve on their nasal breathing. There is an epidemic. We know that people are not getting enough sleep. Some people are snoring, but we have issues with how we are breathing. And people are interested all over the world to improve the situation to recover better. We know through Fortune magazine and other financial institutions that this is costing the world a lot of money. There's a lot of dollars that are spending in poor rest. Our system, our company, teaches people how to monitor themselves so that they can improve the way they breathe. We have an extensive line of products, and we utilize software and technology to gather information that helps consumers regulate and learn this on their own. We can reach a lot of people. Think of all those companies that have been doing this, like Fitbit, Apple Health, or Rings. There is a lot of interest. This is a potential business that is out there for people that have good technology. Who benefits? People that have sleep apnea, people that are not sleeping well, people that have stress because they're not resting well. But overall, our first interest is the wellness world. The people that practice a sport, they seek fast recovery, or they just want to potentiate their rest in order to improve their health. Also, there's medical issues that can be addressed by resting better and breathing properly. One of them is reflux. So we have all this group of people that are interested and can benefit from our system. People will sleep better, snore less. People that are practicing any sport, either professionally or amateurly, they will be able to recover and perform a lot better. This is all backed by prestigious research, prestigious doctors. We have amazing advisors, and in the company, we've had publications in scientific journals, as well as decades of clinical work. The conclusion is that we need to have a mouth that's fully shut so that we can potentialize every breath through the nose. We have an integrated patented solution that allows to gather biometric information. Biometrics are huge right now. The big technology companies know about it, and it has a lot of potential. We have the devices that can be worn, the software that will guide the users to stay in that sweet area, that green area that potentializes their breathing, and we will connect all that to artificial intelligence to be learning and improving things without having to use up human time. Our devices will help you train yourself on how to do things. Again, Fitbit, Apple Health, Aura, we want to put this information in the hands of the user. Our devices have already proven to give people better sleep, less snoring, and a much faster and more efficient recovery. Our device gathers information, and the sweet area, the sweet spot, we know this through science, through publications. It's been known since 1873 by Dr. Donders. It's been published in the medical literature that the ideal pressure for resting properly and recovering is between -10 to -15 millibars of pressure. So our software will give you the information on your performance, the pressure inside the mouth, the time that you're keeping the pressure in the right sweet area. And we also are putting a pulse oximeter, so we know the heart rate. The pulse is important for recovery, for health, for comparative biometrics, and the oxygen saturation. So we know that we are working in a safe area. When you are in that sweet area, then that can be connected to TV, video games, and whatever, or the individuals are already doing. And this will give us data that will come to a app, very well organized, very easy to read, and we will be able to gather this information that is very, very valuable. This information can be used, it's secured, it belongs to the patient, but the patient can use it, or the individual can use it to get discounts or to compare their own biometrics in different situations during long-term periods. We have already proven the model. We have our alpha device that's only mechanical. The feedback when there is pressure in the mouth shows you with the bubble if you are creating pressure and how long you're holding it. It just gives you a yes or no on the pressure. But the model has already been very successful. We haven't done any publicity, no marketing, and we have already very, very significant numbers of sales. So we know that the market wants this. Philippe Moraine, a neuro researcher at Stanford on sleep, he says people love gadgets and they want to have something in their hands. So this has been proven by the alpha model. The beta is already our very successful prototype that are giving us information, are giving us the numbers, are showing that we can train the individuals, the users, to stay in that sweet spot, in that area of little pressure, but still negative hold of all the tissues inside the mouth, so that the potential of the breathing through the nose is constant. And we're ready to go into our launch. We had the original product with the components that had to be outside the mouth, but now, since we've been working on this for the last 2 years, the technology has improved so much that the components are tiny and they are proven to be safe and acceptable to the user. So we're now working with a design that's completely intraoral. It's in the mouth, nobody can see it. You can put it on similar to a mouth guard, and you wear it, and it sends all your biometrics to the app, to the device that's connected to, that will give you the ability to continue watching your TV or your video game or whatever you decide you want to connect it to. So this is our launch product, and it's improving every day. It's updated and it's fully inside the mouth. This is very exciting. Obviously, the materials are all approved for use in mouth. We are not seeking FDA approval to start with because we are making it a consumer product that will have no medical claims. But long term, it's going to prove that it does have things that we can claim. But we are going to use this launch product to do more testing, to see if there's lactic acid in athletes, there is more recovery, there is faster going down to resting pulse. There's a lot of things that need to be proven with a launch device. We have looked at some comparables. There's such an array of products that are gathering biometrics and that are talking about improving rest and lowering stress and recovery and sleep apnea. So there's a lot in the market. So we just gather a few comparatives to see what these are bringing and how their sales are doing and what they are charging. Our product has no relationship to any of these. It's modeled on creating an automatic position. So it's training to do this on your own and a membership basis. So you stay on this membership, but this is a way to have a model that has an easy entrance and it can be proven a lot faster and the growth of this company is going to be exponential. We have a strategy, which is to have a perfect and licensed device that has a platform, that has data that can be used. This is where the value of the company is, in the data. We have a team that we've put together, and we need a bigger team at this point, but our team right now is solid enough that if we get funding, we can move into production to continue to prove this concept. We have the science. We wrote the book on proper breathing. We work at Stanford and Gottingham Hospital. We have done enough research to be legitimate in this space, to be able to say what we're saying and have a solid base, science base, to prove what we're saying. We have advisors that are top-notch. David Gozal, top pediatric sleep apnea expert, Philippe Mouraine, who's a neuroscientific researcher at Stanford working on sleep, Craig Heller. We have people that are very, very solid in the science side. So we don't have to prove that anymore because the publications are out there. So what we have to prove is that people are interested, and we can only prove that if we have the product and we put it out there. But it's going to have a lot of interest because we know that wellness world is buying this type of technology. Every breath we take impacts how we sleep, recover, and perform. We can do things to improve and potentialize every breath. So we have different types of breathing, we have respiration, we have mechanical things, we have dynamic of fluids. So we need to know that the right way to rest is with the tongue and the lips suction through fluid mechanics to the front and the top of the mouth. When we do that, then we maximize the air that passes through the nose. So we're going to be able to breathe through their nose without any effort. We want to have this resting position that uses very little energy. And we have other presentations, we're going into details, Liz, but it's very important that we visualize what our devices and our company is trying to do. Mixed breathing equals snoring, soft palate, everything is in that airway tube. So it's easy to see, easy to understand. We talk about up-lock breathing. Up-lock is the position where click, things go, they park in that area. It's like puzzle piece that goes in there, uses no energy, and this will deliver lifelong improvements in performance and recovery. This is a big deal. So let's look a little bit about what that position is. And it's important, I know not for the business people, but we want to see what are we talking about. And this is a small video that shows our original product that's mechanical, but we can see what happens when we swallow and we hold negative pressure inside the mouth. You can see the bubble goes in, and we can hold that position for long periods. If we do that, we know that we have negative pressure inside the mouth, light negative pressure, and we have the air will automatically go through the nose. So we don't have to exert ourselves or use muscle force to try to get the air in. We need to have a good nose that works and negative pressure inside the mouth so that automatically the nose is acting as a pump that's pulling air. We're not expending energy. We're using our energy for recovery, not for effort. We teach individual to use this in a way that's automatic. We teach them how to do it. We give them the feedback, and then they learn to create this position on autopilot. That means when they go to sleep, they will go to that position. It teaches the patient to hold that negative pressure as if they were putting a plunger, and that stays so that when they go to sleep, it's being held through that suction, and it doesn't require any conscious effort or any expenditure of energy. Why should you invest now? This is patented. We have all the patents for the technology. The up-lock breathing platform is robust. We've proven it. And we have science. You're working with the top people in this field. We can deliver. We've done enough clinical work that you know that we're solid. And our team is super strong. We have the science and the vision to succeed. The milestones that we've completed is our beta launch. We've done this with our device that doesn't have technology. We have already working prototypes. So we need right now an investment to be able to, from this prototype, create a number of devices to continue our proof of concept. And this can be accelerated by more cash, more funding. We can create a more robust team with more devices and moving to the next area. We're the first to market. There's no competition for what we're doing. Nobody's talking about things in the mouth. We have biometrics of all kinds, but nothing's being measured as far as pressure in the mouth. So we're the first. We have a complete solution. We have a very, very clear path on how we are going to integrate what we have and the model, the business model. We have a very experienced team. People have worked in this field for decades. The solution is easy. It can be implemented, and we're ready to go to market, and we can create the revenue quite fast. We are starting this company by going direct to consumers, and we're not going to seek the FDA approval initially. Eventually, we have a lot of other services and devices that will complement what we have, but we're going to go with the op blocker Bluetooth initially, and we are going to sell it online through our influencers. So our target audience is the wellness people that are willing to spend in this area. Our target consumers are people from 20 to 50 years old. So we're not going to address it to children in this first phase because we don't want the liability. We want to prove our concept with the people that are willing to spend and that are safe. So our investors can feel very confident that we're not going to run into trouble. The influencers in sports, health, sleep, and wellness are there. They're ready for us. And all we have to do is get devices in their hands to have this become the status quo in the industry. The numbers are still to come, but we want to talk about some of the concerns. The FDA approval, we told you we're not going to seek for it initially. Materials are FDA approved, but we are not going to seek to make any claims as a medical device right now. The business model is based on membership, data management, who owns the data, who stores it, and who allows the use of this data. So the data belongs to patients, their biometrics, they have privacy concerns, it belongs to them securely. But if they choose a cheaper membership and they sign off a consent form that the data belongs to us, then they can use the product without so much expense. Some people will choose to do that, and we obviously will be responsible with the data, but the data has a lot of value for us because we will be able to run statistics and see how we're improving the biometrics on our patients. So they can choose what they do. Long term, they can also send this data to the doctors. The doctors can also be members, and we can manage their charts and their patients. We have a lot of experience doing that, so we can manage that. The user can be a doctor. The user can be an individual at home. The user also can be the insurance company, because a patient might choose to share their data, what they're doing, with their insurance company for a discount. And I think some companies are working on this, where if you wear a CPAP certain hours a day and your data is good and you're responsible with it, you are not as expensive risk for the insurance company. So CPAP is already having metrics taken in order to allow people to do certain things, either discounts or certain professions like truck driving. So this is already something that exists, and we are going to utilize it responsibly, but we're going to give the patient the option to choose their usage. We are not a gadget company, we're a data company, which is very important because the exponential growth that we can go through being a data company is amazing. It's bigger, it's stronger, and it's more sustainable in the long term. Our gadget, our device, people want it, but the gadget is not where our business is. The gadget is going to be something that people can have. They can buy insurance. So if they lose it, if they drop it in the toilet and they don't want to use it, they can get a replacement right away without having to pay for it. They can have that insurance that can give them, for example, 3 new devices every year without any cost. So this is based on very strong customer service background that I have having been an orthodontist, I have 8,000 patients in my database. Fortunately, knock on wood, I haven't been sued. This talks well about someone in California running a busy practice with parents and mitigating any problems in customer care, customer service very early. So we have a big background in customer service, and we want to create this so that using this device will be easy and reliable for the users. Think of Apple with their products that are more expensive, but having the Genius Bar that takes care of your problems when you need them at no cost. So we are a data company, not a gadget company. Our customer care is great. We have technical support. We have a team of engineers that's ready to take care of our users 24/7. If someone in Korea, 3 a.m, device not working, they call our team, we're going to have a real person picking up the phone and guiding them with whatever problem they might have. Did you do the upgrade in the software? Did you have the right phone? Do you have the right app? Do you have to do a restart? Whatever they need, they will get good technical support. That's key in this company. The Bluetooth device collects biometrics, pressure, time, oxygen saturation, and pulse. Very important. We can eventually have more biometrics, but these are the ones that are in our device as it is today. We have an intelligent app that will be learning, and in medicine, in wellness, in health, the key is comparing things. For example, if you take a mammogram, you compare it to your last mammogram or to the 10 last mammogram. That's how you know if things are normal or not. If the patients are measuring this for 20 minutes every day because they're watching their series, Netflix or whatever, and they know they put it so the Netflix plays, and they're getting those 20-minute biometrics every single day. Whenever there's a change, the artificial intelligence might just flash it, and it will tell them that something's wrong. If they're connected to their physician, maybe their physician gets a notice, an alert, and calls them up. Are you feeling okay? Your pulse is usually, resting pulse is usually 60. I see that, the last few days have been high. Do you feel okay? So this is a service for the doctor that will look like he knows what's going on with his patients, and also for the user that will know if something is out of the ordinary, which is what happens with health. This is very important to have that intelligent app. It also answers some of the questions where this device teaches you to make this position automatic. So once you are already doing it, what will make you stay in the company and keep being a member and keep paying your membership? You want to make sure that you're watching things and everything is staying where it should be. So this keeps patients compliant and allows to create this ongoing model for business. We continue to analyze the biometrics daily, and we can see if we need to do anything for our users. We can also, as we become more robust as a company, we can measure other things. Acidity for saliva, for cavities, for gum disease, breath. There's a lot of different biometrics that we can incorporate it into this as we grow in this space. Other revenue, the future medical services, this can go into the insurance companies. This can be incorporated through strategic partnerships with other technology companies. And we know through the analysis we've done in this wellness technology space, telemedicine, that the big players in tech are very interested in companies that can deliver what we have. We are planning to grow very, very quickly. And if you have any questions, again, please contact us. We are at Forwardontics. We have a lot of products in our company, but this is our most exciting device, an exciting way to gather data. And if you have any comments or any possibility or any interest in being part of this group, of the success that we are going to have, please let us know and send us your comments. Thank you. And we are happy to hear from you soon.